Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica and today we're going to be doing my skincare routine and answering some questions about who I am and why I'm here. So let's get started. So I usually start off with this first cleanser. I know that it has fragrance, so it's definitely not Hyram approved, but it's almost finished, so I figured that I would just suck it up and finish it and then switch to a different cleanser. So this is usually the first one that I go in with. I don't really know much about skincare, but I've recently discovered Hyram and I'm really into all of his videos, so I've been watching them a lot. And then after that I go in with this second one, which is the CeraVe Foaming Facial Cleanser, which I do know is Hyram approved. And honestly, I have been loving this because it's such a good second facial cleanser, just because it's meant for sensitive skin, which I don't have super sensitive skin, but I mainly bought this because I have combination skin, and it's just been doing wonders for me. So the first question that we have is, are you a dog or a cat person? So I feel like the answer is simple, yet not simple, because I love dogs. So I'm probably a dog person. But it's not that I don't like cats, I'm just really allergic to them. And it makes it hard to be around them because I get really red eyes and it's just not fun. Aside from that, I've just always had dogs my whole entire life, and so I'm used to training them and spending time with them, and they just bring me comfort, versus a cat that just stresses me out because I'm allergic to them. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to cats, so that's on that. The second question is, are you in college or have you gone? So I have been to college. I actually graduated at 17, and I went to community college at first, and then I transferred to Cal State Fullerton to get my theater bachelor's, and I recently just graduated from there. But because of this whole pandemic, my career prospects and things have kind of been put on hold. So what I've been doing is that I decided to start studying music theory at my local community college, and it's been going really well so far, and I'm really excited about it because my career prospects were in the performance industry, specifically musical theater. I really just love everything about it, and so I really wanted to do something with my time that would help me in my goal to be a performer. And music theory just made so much sense because, as a musical theater performer, you want to be able to give your best vocal performance just as much as you want to be able to give your best acting and dancing performance as well. Sight singing and music theory and understanding just the layout of everything was super important to me. Which actually leads me to my next question, which is, what are your career goals? And my career goals are basically, I want to be a performer. And I love performing and I love singing and I love everything like that. And I just figured if I could do that for the rest of my life, then that would be the biggest blessing. Next question is, tea or coffee? I mixed in some not as long answers with some longer answers just because I thought I'd vary it up. But the answer to that question is coffee, 100% coffee. I come from a family that loves to drink coffee after almost every meal. So I just grew up around coffee and I love it. But I am also a huge fan of tea. It's just when it comes up to the debate, I'm always gonna say coffee. Do you speak any languages? I do. I speak Spanish and I speak English. I learned sign language, but unfortunately I feel like I constantly have to brush up on it just because I don't really have anybody to practice with. And for me, it's just easier when I have people in my life that I can practice languages with. It just makes the learning process a lot easier. And then I am learning Italian right now. How often will you post? Okay, that's a good question. I'm still really new to the whole YouTube game, and I'm still really new to like what exactly it is I want to do with my channel. I have a pretty good idea, and I have a lot of ideas as to what kinds of videos I want to make. But as far as posting, I do plan on trying to keep as closely as possible to my 1 video a week schedule. Why did you want to start YouTube? So one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to start YouTube was actually because of the pandemic. I felt like I just really needed a creative outlet and something that I could do that would just really help me like get my creative juices flowing, and that I could still do it during a time when we're so distanced from other people. And this just seemed like such a perfect way to do that I just couldn't resist. So I ended up doing that. The next thing that I go in with is this facial toner by Thayers. I don't know if I said that right, but it's witch hazel aloe vera formula with lavender. Also sure that it's not Hyram approved because it has lavender and it has fragrance. I just really like the way that this like feels on my skin like after I do the double cleanser. It just feels really nice and refreshing, so I'm gonna keep it. But anywho, favorite hobbies. So my favorite hobbies honestly have come to my attention because of the pandemic, so this is kind of the perfect question to ask. I recently picked up the hobby of baking. I love baking. I used to be so bad at it. Like I can cook, I can make savory things, but baking was just not my strong suit. So during quarantine I decided that that was gonna change, and I started baking, and I learned how to make like different pies, and like I learned how to make lemon squares and things like that, and it was just so fun to be able to do those things and just get creative in a whole different like artistic style, because I do consider like cooking and baking to be like an artistic style, and it was just such a fun hobby to pick up. Aside from that, I like to read, I like to doodle, I like to do like other creative forms basically. It just helps me like relax, and it's my meditation in a way. Our last question, which is accompanied by my last 2 steps, which is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost and Ultra Sheer Face Mist by Neutrogena. It's a sunscreen. And our last question is, what are you most excited about living on your own? So for those of you that don't know, my youngest brother and I are moving in together. We're branching out, living on our own. Our parents are actually moving to Texas, and so we decided that we wanted to stay in the same city. And luckily we were able to find an apartment, and it's really exciting just because we've never actually like lived on our own, and it's gonna be like a new adventure, but I get to do it with my brother, which is really nice. It's nice to have that comfort there. But I think what I'm most excited about doing is just seeing what it's like to be on my own and like have all these responsibilities that I keep hearing like other people talk about, and just experiencing it for myself. I think moving out of your house is a really big step, and it just adds to the person that you already are, and you figure out some things about yourself that you wouldn't when you live with family. Like, aside from just the exploration of who I am, I also think it's just going to be really fun to live with my brother and my roommate. My roommate is someone that I've actually known for a really long time. Our parents were really close friends when they were in college, and they were friends all throughout college. and they saw each other get married, and they saw each other have their children and things like that. So it's just really exciting to share this part of my life with her, because it's a new step, and she is finally moving into her own place too by moving in with us, because she's only ever lived with family or in like college dorm. So it's all new to all of us, and we already get along so well, so it's just really exciting to be able to share in that with her. So I think those are my two like biggest things that I think I'm really looking forward to, is just like self-exploration along with being with my brother and my roommate. And that was it for my skincare routine. I'm really excited to start on this whole journey of YouTube and being creative in a whole new different way. And I hope some of these questions helped you to get to know me a little bit better. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye!